Welcome to Chicagoland Speedway here for the W.O.R.C Rollin Suds Auto Detail and Wash 120 here tonight. It is a playoff race for these guys. They are currently in their qualifying right now. Have about 1 minute left in it, and then these guys will roll over into the actual session. But give them a little bit more time here. But I will pull up some race info, track info. A little bit over a mile and a half here. A lot of guys are going to be pretty much flat out. This track is really draft heavy, especially in these Xfinity cars that these guys will be running. If you're not in the draft, you're in a pretty rough position here, but do expect a lot of these guys to kind of be tucked in behind each other. Currently sitting on top of the board right now is Cannizzaro. He is sitting P1 by 600ths of a second right now currently, so they will have still a little bit left, not a lot left though for these guys, so just give them a little bit more time. But I hope you all are ready for this race here. SDK has been updating a lot of stuff, trying to get their local connection issue fixed. So hopefully they have that fixed. They don't know for sure. I haven't checked their forums and good stuff like that. I haven't saw anything else on their forums, but they are currently fixing that. They have updated one yesterday. So what they've been trying to fix is you've been seeing the overlay freeze. They've been trying to fix that, but I will pull up the grid here for these guys. Done with their qualifying session now. Go all the way back to the top. So John Cannizzaro first, Josh Patterson second, Garrett White third, Sky McGurk fourth, Ollie Reeves fifth, Joe Berge sixth, Dimitri Monduros seventh, Logan Soley eighth, Clayton Ramstead 9th, 10th, James Bomar 11th, Brianna Lavin 12th, Ryan Martin 13th, Ryan Zabu 14th, Brandon Sampson 15th, Brayson Collins 16th, Caden Riffey 17th, Gino Mero 18th, Timmy Spatz 19th, Henry Clappett 20th, Brady Cox 21st, Bo Krebs, and 22nd, Paul Grenada. I said that name right. Going to go down to pit road for these guys. You will see their cars all go white for just half a second. I actually have to do it again because there's about 5 people that haven't gridded. I always give drivers a paint refresh before we get rolling in the session, just to make sure that everything is working correctly for them. I don't want their paints to not be seen by any sponsors that they could possibly be running. And trading paint sometimes needs to just have another refresh most of the time, so I will wait to do that for them. As what is being used in the background? Gonna give them a little bit more time here, not a lot though. Waiting on about 2 more people to grid. That was everybody. So we will now do another one. So they will go white again. Can't talk apparently. This is a pretty draft heavy track. These cars like to get loose. I haven't driven these cars in forever. Rear end doesn't like to stay in the ground. Does not like to stay in the ground. So these guys will be having to deal with that pretty much the whole entire night. We'll be trying to kick out from up under them. Hopefully it will be a pretty good race. Xfinity cars, I do like these cars because of the gearbox. Really the one reason that I like these. I wish the next gens had that, but they don't. But the current drivers that are in the playoffs right now, I was sent a list. Let me pull that list up for you all. So Garrett White, Gino Merritt, Dimitri Monduros, Josh Patterson, Sky McGurk, Clayton Ramstead, Timmy Spatz, Caden Riffey, and Joe Berge are currently in the playoffs right now, checking some ghost notifications that I got. Have to hop over into another broadcast literally right after this race ends here. Pace truck is going to pull off. Starter has the flag in hand. And we are underway here. You see, we've got some guys basically ripping the walls, what they're doing up there. But Canizaro, he will get the lead. Hopefully run away with it here a little bit. I know guys will probably be chasing him as pretty much as good as they can. We got a lot of two wide in the back of the pack. We almost have a 3 wide here. The 29 disappears. He comes back. He's going to put that 3 wide on the 19 of Sully. Sully's going to almost squeeze him up in the wall. He's going to try to get his nose in there. He will not be able to do that. That is W.O.R.C, sorry, up on that top line. So we've got a lot of guys running top, bottom, middle, really everywhere. We almost have them 4 wide here around Brayson and Collins. They decide not to do that. Luckily for these guys, they use their head and tuck back in behind each other. Canizaro, he's going to continue to lead this race. Only 3 laps in, so these guys got a long way to go. As we got somebody spinning around. That is the 19. He actually saves that. The 29 smacks in the wall. This might be a caution. Yeah, we got guys wrecking down. Here's his 3 drivers involved. The 9 of Ryan Martin is in it. Looks like the 10 of Zabua. The 29 automatically tows. That was Bomar. So that was a big pile up here in the back of the pack. We'll go back and watch what happened here. If it will, let me click on the driver. So what happened up front here? So it happened with the 19 and the 21 of Clayton Ramstead. Did they cut down? It looks like the 19 was just kind of boxed in. The 60 might have slowed down a little bit. The 21 just hit the 21 hit the 19 in the rear. 29 had nowhere to go. That 9 had nowhere to go either. Who got collected in that also? Somebody got pounded in the right side. That was a 97, had nowhere to go either. And you see that black car try to shoot the middle, and he doesn't make it also. So a big pile-up early on that's going to take out some drivers. O2 did need that. You see him kind of sorting through that. That's Josh Patterson. He needed that caution to come out for him. This will bring out the first caution here. Only 5 laps into the race. So kind of surprising, but guys just going at it early on, trying to get as many positions as they can to put themselves in a good position for later on in the race. But some of them might have just hurt themselves a lot more than they could have actually helped themselves trying to make those moves around them. These guys will probably stay out. Now you got some guys that came down pit road that didn't get damaged. The 8, the 5, that's Paul and Brayson. These guys all had damage. That was Bo Krebs. That was a black car that I saw that didn't have a number on it. But only 3 laps into the race. We will go to a quick commercial break here. Lights are going to go off on the pace car here, so these guys will get the green flag next time by the 18 and the 82. Jonathan Canizaro and Sky McGurk will be the top row here. Garrett White and Joe Berge make up row 2. Ollie Reeves and Dimitri Monduros are row 3 here. So some guys already had to use their fast spare if they did have one. Looks like they actually don't have one. So the 10 is running modified. That's probably not going to work at a track like this. The 21 also has some damage. That's Clayton Ramstead. You see that right front splitter's bent up. That fender's also dented into. Going to be struggling a little bit because of that. Pace truck's going to pull off here. We will go back to green here. As Canizaro gets a pretty big jump on the field pretty much as soon as the pace truck left, he went from that. Not expecting to jump that soon, but he took the opportunity and just went with it. You cannot blame him for that. 26 is trying to go under the 41. It's Garrett White and Joe Berge going at it here. Two racing each other side by side right now currently. 21, we'll see how much that damage hurts him. I think it's going to hurt him a pretty big amount. We got the 5 going into the infield. He saves it, though. That will bring out another caution as he just does a little Tokyo-style drift. That was a pretty good save from Collins. Go back and see what happened that sent him off track. Looks like this is he just tried to side draft. He just came up and slammed the 86 in the door. He went down through the grass. 86, looks like he locked it down. So 86 saved his, and the 5 saved his also. So saves from both of those drivers that keeps them in contention. But 2 wrecks early on, and we were only 8 laps into the race. I would not have expected that, that's for sure. We're seeing drivers make a lot of mistakes early on. We have some guys coming back down pit road. The 8, I know the 10 is definitely going to be coming down pit road a lot. The 9 looks like he's out. Bo looks like he's done. The 8, I don't think he has any damage. That's Paul Granada. 10 evidently has heavy damage. I don't think he was on pit road. No, he was on pit road. I think he just drove straight through. He might not meant to come down. I had to guess he's probably trying to make it on fuel here. Lights are already off on the pace car again, though, so these guys will get the green next time by. 97 looks like he's getting a wave around. I do not think he will get back to that spot in time. We'll have to see if he will. It's Caden Griffey. It might be... I don't think he's going to get it. It'll be close, but... I just don't see it happening for... Ooh, that water's bad. I just don't see it happening for him. Pace truck will pull off this time by the Canizaro and McGurk top row as Canizaro. He will get the jump again. Took off pretty early like last time. Have to see if these guys settle down now after that little incident that we had early on. Guys getting into it, they're going to have to realize it might not be the best idea to kind of go at each other right now. Clapper, it looks like he's kind of in the middle of this. He's behind the 74, but he's got somebody going to the wall. That's the 02. Don't think he meant to do that. That was Josh Patterson. He went way up there. 19 who had damage. He's still in the race. Canizaro, he's actually pulling away right now. Berge's falling in second. McGurk, he's fallen to third. He's on the bumper of Berge. Might be smarter if these guys kind of tuck in behind each other and draft more than anything else. Be surprised how much the draft could play a factor in here. But we got these guys 2 by 2, almost 3 wide here. The 74 is trying to put his nose. Can't get it in there. That's Lavin trying to stick his nose in there. He couldn't do it. That's going to bring Timmy Spats up behind these guys now. Bring him into the mix. Look, he clips the apron there just a little bit. Gets his car upset some. Remstead, he's trying to hold steady. I just don't think it'll work for him right now. He's just the damage that he has, I think, is just a little bit too much. So these guys 2 wide, the 71 and the 31. That's Mero. 31's not the actual 31. Who is this? This race is at 60 of Monduros. Trying to get around Clapper. He will do that and get that position from him. Slide up right in front of him. Probably take off the air. Get him a little bit loose. The 71's trying to get under the 34. Wasn't able to do it. Not sure who that 31 is. I could see that name when I go by. I'm not able to see it very well, though. I'll be able to tell what driver that is in that car. Cannizzaro, he's pretty much just pulling away with it right now. Kind of sees these guys in his rearview mirror, and he's like, yeah, bye-bye. As that second one's going to send it in there on Clapper, he will get that position. Stays really, really firm on the bottom. Gotta wonder if that's burning up his tires, though, so he's going to kind of block that 34. Make him shove him around instead. Cannizzaro, he's pretty much just kind of trying to set sail right now and just pull away from these guys. As he's somewhat doing it, somewhat not doing it at the same time. Guys are doing back here. The 54, it's gotten around the 02. Patterson was in the wall earlier. You see that damage on that right hood fender area. It's kind of dented down. You see that little white part when he goes by. You're not supposed to be able to see that. It's supposed to be solid red or black, whichever color he has in that area. These guys have damage, so they're going to need a lot. The 10 has horrible damage. I mean, no hood. Riffy, he's trying to catch the back of the pack. I don't think he will. He's also got damage too. So damage early on is playing a factor for these guys. They just don't have the slim car. I mean, it's just kind of poking out everywhere. It's dragging because of that. But McGirt looks like he's kind of running Cannizzaro down now. It's being very slowly, but it is working for him just a little bit. You see it there. He's catching him. Hey, I mean, he's catching him just ever so slightly. Last lap, McGirt was faster than Cannizzaro also. He's definitely getting to him. We'll have to see how long it does take him to do that, though. Looks like Cannizzaro's pulled the lead back out, so he might have just been playing off a little bit. That wouldn't be a bad idea from Cannizzaro either. I mean, he was out front. You know, you just save your tires, and you can let them kind of catch you a little bit. I wouldn't do it in a drastic amount, but you can do that some. So it's not a bad thing to do every now and then. Save your tires early on in the race. I think Cannizzaro is getting a little bit loose, though. I want to go in his cockpit. Well, it looks like he's pretty stable, but he's making these little small corrections. That's kind of telling me maybe he's just a little loose. That is Reeves. That's in the 31 car there. I finally figured out what the number or who was in that vehicle. Could not tell earlier in the race because it just didn't have, because that's a stamped number and it's not matching up on this. So always actually the 100, but in the race he's the 31. Grayson did not go down pit. He came down the pit road on that 4. Yeah, he might have taken tires. He did have a 12-second pit stop. So he did go through the grass. It wasn't really much of the track, so he might have been fine. But he just decided to play it safe instead. Someone disappears. Now they're back. That's the 41 of Berge. But Berge's now catching McGirt, and they're all catching Cannizzaro. Now if these guys can get behind each other and kind of start shoving, they might be able to get Cannizzaro. You can't really draft heavy here, but it is a draft track. Any air you can take off these cars, you know, when you don't need the air, it's going to make you go fast. And these guys are probably just kind of searching around trying to find that right now. Yeah, they're catching them now. I think they might have a shot to get Cannizzaro. They're getting ever so slightly closer. A2 put himself in the wall there. That's going to slow him down some. But that 41's kind of... Oh, it's going to actually hurt the 81. These guys... Or sorry, 82. He's got some pretty heavy damage on that right side now as that's dented it in behind the... Or next to the tire. So he's going to start dragging a lot more than what he was before. So that actually might have hurt him a lot here. That 41's going to go down to the apron. So how bad is this going to affect McGurk? I think it's going to be pretty bad on his car. Cars are already so sensitive. You get any amount of damage on them, and they just start to drag even more after that. Yeah, I think this is... yeah, McGurk is pretty hurt. That's pretty significant damage. It didn't seem like he hit it so hard, but I mean, he hit it decently hard. I think we might have to do a good view. Yeah, you can see it there. You can see, I mean, literally around the whole tire, it's pretty much just beat in. That tire is supposed to be covered. It's not going to do it. We got the 96. And the 54 going side by side. That's Spat and Sampson. Looks like Spats has gotten into the wall also. Just a little bit of right side damage on his. Looks like everybody's got the right side of the wall. Dude, I mean, all of them have just nicked it. Some have been harder than others. When it's been hard, these guys have pretty much killed that right side. And that's the tires that... Every track, that's the tire that's going to wear more to begin with because you're having to put wheel into it. So any more rubbing on that tire is going to make it heat up even more, and it's just going to keep on losing grip. But White, he's starting to run down Cannizzaro for the lead. He's within 4/10. This is the time when you can start catching the draft of the guy in front of you. I think he might. He's going to get Cannizzaro. I think Cannizzaro either might have started laying off. They're going to get a lap car up here. I believe that's Bo Krebs also, who's back out on the track. Yes, he is back out on the track. That's who they're going to be running up on. Looks like that 26 is able to wrap the bottom just a little bit better than Cannizzaro. But who's going to catch this lap car in a weird spot? I think White going to try to go down, just kind of cut the track as much as he can. That'll cut out another 10th. That's going to actually hurt Cannizzaro's entry there as that lap car. White should be fine on exit here if that lap car will let him up. It will. He's going to get a clean exit. Cannizzaro wasn't able to get a clean entry, so it's going to be White on Cannizzaro's bumper now. Looks like White is actually up under him. Going to try to get that position. They're going to go side by side here. Lap 32, trying to get the pass done as White, and he will do that. He'll lead that lap. How hard is Cannizzaro going to fight here now? How hard is White going to side draft him is a better question. White is going to start getting a little bit tighter because he's having to run that bottom. So how is he going to play this? Kind of got to set up the 18 here somewhere. He's He's not going to pinch Cannizzaro at all. He's going to give him the room that he wants. If I was White, I'd kind of bail out of this, and I'd try to get on the outside of this 18. That's what this 18 seems to be doing very well, as he's just rolling that middle at the top line and just going from there. I think he did realize that. Just see him back out. Get up on Cannizzaro's bumper. If he can get close enough to Cannizzaro in a certain spot, he'll be fine and be able to get right around him with no trouble. Just a matter of catching him in that spot is the only problem, it seems to be. Guys are still going to go at it now. What is White going to do? Like Cannizzaro may be coming to pit because he just gave White that top line. So pit stops possibly happening here for these guys. We'll have to see what Cannizzaro does. As yet, pit stops are happening. Cannizzaro is going to come down pit road. Be the first leader. The 82 will follow him right behind. He got in there pretty hot. 74 is also coming. That's Brianna Lavin. Clapper, he's been down pit road. He is off and away. He also got some damage. I almost could say it could be a paint design, but he's scraped the wall, I think. Is that damage on his car? Yeah, he scraped it. Not as bad as other people, though. He actually kind of got away with most of it. But that'll put White to the lead now. As White will come down the lap after the 18 as he gets all he can getting on pit road. So does the 60. Almost hits the cone. The 41, 71, 21, 96, all coming down. You see guys smoking the tires. Might as well get all you can. You're going to get them off the car anyway, so it doesn't matter if you heat them up now. See who this cycles out to. It should cycle out to White. Paul, Sully, and Collins are still on the track. These guys can go a little bit farther because of their fuel situation. 8 has been coming down pit road and topping off, so he's kind of banking on the tires to pay off for him as White is off and away. Have to see where does he come out relative to Cannizzaro. He actually might come out in front of Cannizzaro. It's going to be dependent on how aggressive he is off of pit road. You'll see Cannizzaro here in any second there behind that yellow car. Looks like it will be White that will beat him off. If he didn't merge too early, yeah, White will beat him off, but Cannizzaro will probably go right on by him as he will put it 3 wide. He'll get that position. Now White's going to have to chase down Cannizzaro again. So Collins still needs to pit. Paul is still out on the track. He pitted on lap 8 earlier too, so he's got more fuel than these guys. He's either banking on a caution or he's hoping that these tires that he's going to get on his car are just going to be a little bit better than everyone else's. It actually kind of helped him if he could get shoved by most of these guys too. The more guys that pass him, yeah, it's bad. But he's also being able to get a little bit of a draft off of them also at the same time. He's not being too hurt. He's got a lot of people around him right now. These are guys that all pitted. I'm guessing that could put them to the end also of the race. We'll have to see. They might have to come in at least one more time. And that gets tricky. When do you come down pit road? But White, he's still in striking distance of these guys. As these guys have cycled out on their pit stops, we will wait for the 8 of Paul Grenada to go in. And we'll go to a commercial break here for these guys. Hopefully nothing happens. You got somebody blinking out. That's the 41 of Berge. So the 82 still has that damage. Now, if the 82 could get a caution, he'll probably get most of it fixed. As if I was him, I'd get it fixed. I'm a person, when I race the old Gen cars, the Gen 6s and the Cup Series, any damage that I had, I would get it fixed immediately under caution the first chance that I got, because those things dragged a ridiculous amount. It was not even funny how much drag there was on those cars. Paul, he's sticking it out here so far. And I mean, he's running 2 seconds slower than everybody else. So he might be coming this time by. As he is coming this time by. He gets down on the apron here. See how aggressive he gets onto pit road. He starts braking now. So that'll put Collins to the lead. He looks like he's coming down pit road too. So these guys finally cycle out. That'll put Cannizzaro and White to the lead, but White is pretty much where he was before he passed Cannizzaro. These guys are pretty much, you know, right behind each other. These guys will get blown by in the pit. So Paul will see how far he drops. Probably drop to about, say, 13th here, maybe even lower than that. Gonna drop to probably about 15th. Yeah, he'll drop to at least 15th, maybe even 16th. He's off and away. He might drop a lot lower than what I originally thought he would, as he at 15th looks like he will probably stop dropping there. As Collins, he's off pit road. He'll drop all the way to 18th. He actually might end up getting lapped here too from Cannizzaro. But he will have the better tires than Cannizzaro, but I don't know if that will do enough. But now these guys have cycled out, we will go to a commercial break here.
I played a couple of simulators and this was like very responsive, especially the hydraulics and stuff, the motion and stuff was really, really on point.
Make you feel like you're really driving, it feels real.
It adds so much to the experience. It's just really, really cool.
It was pretty awesome.
We are back here at Chicagoland. Garrett has gotten up on the bumper of Cannizzaro again, coming up on 30 laps to go in the race. Everybody else is pretty much spaced out so far. The real battle is here. These guys are trying to fight for the lead. I think one of these guys are in the playoffs, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Garrett is in the playoffs. Cannizzaro is not, so Garrett has a lot more riding on this win if he could take it from Cannizzaro. We'll expect to see him to try some things here, try to get around Cannizzaro. Last time Cannizzaro was just holding that middle line and he was making it work. With the 10, heavily damaged is going to make Cannizzaro dive to that bottom. White won't be able to get the exit. Cannizzaro won't be able to get the exit that he wants either, so these guys will be up on each other's bumper. Coming out of 3 and 4, going into 1 and 2. White on Cannizzaro. What's he going to do around him? He's got to try to set up Cannizzaro. You got to get Cannizzaro to move off that top line. I mean, I think if you can just get just your nose. It's all you need to get is just your nose on the what would this be? The left fender. If you're looking at Cannizzaro's car from the front, if you could just get it right there, that's all that you need. You don't need anything else. You should be able to get around Cannizzaro because I don't think Cannizzaro is going to move anywhere. But I think White's kind of toying with him. White will go to the bottom of him. Try to grab that position. It won't work for him, however. These guys will go side by side into this corner. Looks like White might be able to get it done on Cannizzaro if he slides up now. He doesn't do that, so Cannizzaro's going to have the run on the outside of him. Two guys are not playing nice with each other. They are, but they're just racing hard. White, I think White has to realize that he's just got to gas it up and get out of here because he's just fighting too much with them, and it's hurting him a little bit here. Yeah, these guys are just pretty much just swapping their positions all the time now, it seems. White, oh, he just tries to move up. He just can't do it. I mean, he is just so close to doing that. Guys are inside of 30 to go now. And if I'm White, I think this is the time where you just sail it. Just sail it on into that corner. And I mean, that's the only thing you can do. I really think that's all that you can do right now is you just have to go. That'd be really, really close, though. These guys have been pretty much side by side for about 3 laps. This is who wants it more. White... He's in a rough position because he wants to fight for it. Cannizzaro really has nothing to lose. But if you're White, back off and I try to get around to Cannizzaro's bumper. As White's going to try to do it again. He just can't get clear off of that corner. He gets in there so well. And then Cannizzaro just gets the run off being on the outside of him. White's going to start pushing up now because he's going to be getting a little bit tighter being up under Cannizzaro. Man, if you're White, I don't know what you do here. I mean, you've got to find out something. Oh, you can see White there, and he's just not clear. He just cannot get clear of Cannizzaro. I mean, he is so incredibly close of doing it, and he's missing out on his chances. If I'm White, just sail it on in there. Just hope it sticks for one time. Burn up those tires. Go ahead and use them up for that corner alone. Finally got around him. Took him forever to do that, but he evidently finally did it. Might take you a long time, but you keep working on it, it'll work finally. He will do that. He'll probably try to set sail here as we've got somebody who just jumped to a pit. What happens? We got guys coming down pit road. That's Dimitri, Timmy, Brianna. Are all coming down pit road right now. Who jumped to the pits? That was W. He might have actually blown up. I mean, look at them. That car is definitely destroyed. There's a good chance that that engine expired on him, but they're going to be coming close to inside 20 to go, 22 when they get to the line. think White can finally just be, he's like, finally pass that man. But Mara, he's trying to get around McGurk. McGurk has surprisingly held on well for that damage that he has on that car, because that damage is not too good. And I know that's hurting that right front tire a lot. But if these guys do have to come in one more time, the question is, when do you come down pit road again and get more fuel and tires? Because, I mean, you're going to have to. Now, what White is actually kind of hoping is he can catch some of these lap cars in a good position and they let him by, but he also gets the draft down the back stretch or the front stretch from these guys to help pull him away from Cannizzaro. That would be pretty much heaven for him if he could just catch him in the right position. That's the problem. You got to catch him in the right position. Well, a lot of the times that just doesn't happen, sadly, for a lot of these guys. Lap cars can make or break a race, it seems. We have guys. So the first person that pitted on lap 53 was Patterson. So I think Patterson's he's kind of rolling the dice right now. He's a lap down though because of that pit selection that he made. Brayson, he's pit on lap 41, so he'll probably have to come back down pit road also. He'd been topping off before. That's me guessing. I don't know their exact fuel load. It's kind of figured out pretty much at tracks like this. Half the time you don't even know. It's just kind of up in the air. This 82 is more surprising to me than anything else. I mean, I just don't think that damage will work. But Garrett White, he comes down pit road. I didn't even think he was going to come down pit road, but he makes it down. Mara will come down behind him. So how long does Cannizzaro stay out? I think he'll have to come down next time by. Now, how aggressive was Garrett getting in pit road? He's got to be clean in on his pit stall. If he slides through it, his race is pretty much over. He is slow in. Comes to a complete stop. It will be 4 tires and fuel for him, and then he will be off and away. Total of probably about 14 seconds here. Jack will drop 14.98 for White on pit road. McGurk, Sampson, and Reeves. Reeves got all he could. Or, sorry, Sampson got all he could getting in down pit road. Just slid his tires doing that. So Paul will cycle out to probably the lead when these guys in front of him pit, but I just don't think he's going to make it to the end. Even if he did, he had to come back from being lapped multiple times. So we'll have to see. Cannizzaro, he comes in 2 laps after White. Maybe that tire advantage will play a lot. The 41, he's definitely getting all he could. He actually locks it up just for half a second. Lets go of the brakes, and they start to roll again for him. That's not really that big of a deal. When you know you're going to get 4 tires anyway, just go ahead and smoke them getting in there. See where Cannizzaro comes out now. So where is White? White will pass Cannizzaro. He'll have a pretty big gap because how much Cannizzaro waited to come in compared to Garrett White. It's a blessing and a curse at the same time. As these guys get close to inside of 10 to go, we will go to one more commercial break, and that will be all for this race.
of simulators, and this was like very responsive. Especially the hydraulics and stuff, the motion and stuff was really, really on point.
Make you feel like you're really driving. It feels real.
It adds so much to the experience. It's just really, really cool.
It was pretty awesome.
We're back to the action inside of 10 laps to go now. Monduros, he's still out on the track. Patterson is, but White is catching both these guys from where he pitted. He will actually go by Patterson this lap here. I think Patterson was kind of banking on a caution. I don't think he can make it on fuel, sadly for him, so he'll have to come down. Eventually, he pitted on lap 41. Actually, Patterson, sorry, 53 is when he came down pit road. So he might be able to make it to the end, just kind of limp it to the end of the race. Cannizzaro, he is not catching Patterson. He was a 10th faster, or sorry, he's not catching White. He was a 10th faster than White, but White also has a lot of guys that he's going to be catching around him. So he'll be able to get the draft as we have the 82 try to go under Monduros. I'm sorry, 86 try to go under Monduros. That's Brady Cox try to go under him. Yeah, White. So what White really needs right now is to catch these guys in a really good position where he can do exactly that and then draft off this car right in front of him, and hopefully he can get the entry that he needs getting into the corner. But Cannizzaro, he is almost nowhere to be seen right now. I mean, he's basically almost 4.5 seconds behind White at this point, so he's going to have to do a lot to catch him. White, he's had a race where he's been up front, as you have somebody who just disappeared. That was Lavin. Lavin is gone off the track. I don't know where that person went. They won't keep counting those times, so I do know that much. So I tell y'all what, this thing is getting hot, but luckily I have a lot of the stuff that I need for the stream. I already pulled up. Kind of getting heat soaked though, just a little bit, but it's fine. But I think, yeah, the way White's looking right now, Cannizzaro's catching him, but he's 4/10 back. He'd have to be running a second faster each lap, and he's evidently not doing that so far. So I really do not think that I don't think he's going to catch White here anytime soon at all, just from how it's looking right now. Just a little too far ahead right now. But again, if y'all are new to Ghost Racing Network, if you don't mind throwing in a subscription, we hit 500 subscribers a day ago, and that is all thanks to you all. You can always take subscriptions back if you don't like what you're seeing too. Just keep that in mind. Three to go here for White. Playoff driver. He's going to need this win. This one will probably carry him into the playoffs a little bit longer. Have to see if Monduros will probably hold on to maybe third here. It looks like that's what he'll be able to hold on to. If Cannizzaro doesn't catch him in time, I think he will catch him though. He'll go by him pretty easily also. But he put it on lap 57. Just looks like that 2-lap difference that Cannizzaro did there came back to haunt him, sadly. And that's what happens in races like this. You don't think about that difference, but it'll come back and bite you when you least expect it, it seems, for most of these guys. See Bryson Collins on that bottom there. He's had a rough night. He is actually about to go a lap down. He actually is already a lap down. He'll probably give way to White here. Yeah, he'll just let White go right on by him. Give him the outside, the preferred line on when you're passing somebody. As White did it the hard way, but white flag is in the air here at Chicagoland for the W.O.R.C series here in the Xfinity cars. And Garrett White, he will go into 3. He will come off of 4, and he will take the checkered flag for the Rollin Suds Auto Detail and Wash 120 here at Chicagoland Speedway. Honduras, he will be able to hold on to 2nd, surprisingly, because Canizaro will get 3rd. Patterson 4th, going across the line, as he actually kind of surprisingly came home in that position. He just pounds the wall after that. That's a good run by him. Berge will be 5th. That'll be the top 5 for this rate, but Garrett White, he will take home the win here, which is good for him. Playoff driver, he needed it. No doubt about this. It'll be a big moment for him in the playoffs. Watch him burn it down. As that is actually close to... Oh, gosh. Patterson just nailed him. That is actually close to me from Gray, Tennessee there. I was going to get a view from him, but I think his engine's gone. Patterson probably just killed him. So we can't be doing that right now. I'll pull up the race results, however. Go to a blimp static view so you don't hear these guys revving their engine any more than what they are. He actually immediately tows. We'll bring the top 3 in. John Canizaro, let me grab him and take him into the booth. I wish these guys would stop taking out each other so we could actually not have to deal with them doing that. Is that Paul? I think it's Paul's doing that. Let me see. Yeah, it is Paul's doing it. We will drab. Yes, we will drab. Good English, me. Great English. Make sure here. We'll get John Canizaro here. Make sure everything is unmuted. Hey, John, this is Bryson Booth. Got a copy, man?
Yes, I do.
My sound might be muted here. Let me fix this. Yes, it is. All right, man. I think I got a copy. Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right, man. So you come home 3rd. You know, how did the race go for you from the drop of the green flag to the checker, though, man?
I'd say a bit of my own stupidity. I'm probably the single worst driver in the history of iRacing when it came to saving tires on a long run. And I knew that would bite me once Garrett got to 2nd, so I held him off as much as I could, and then Grayson told me to say this. He tried to give me a little bit of a strategy call in the last couple laps to beat out Garrett and hold him off for the win, but some stubborn guy named John didn't listen to him, so he kind of cost his own race there, but other than that, I think it was fine. I'll take a nice top 3, but I'm not in the chase anymore, but it was a good race.
I mean, it sucks that you're not in the chase, but still, you want to perform good no matter what. But, you know, do you think if you would have came in a little bit, like, and then maybe a lap after White, you would have had a chance? Because you were still 3 seconds behind when you came, or when the race ended. And I think that was kind of pit road. So do you kind of wish you would have pitted a little bit earlier?
I probably should have listened to Brayson and Pitt, a lap before him, at least with him, and had a chance to catch him or just get in front of him and make him run the bottom again, because he couldn't get around me around the bottom very easily. But, it's on the spot. I was thinking, hey, if I just try to outrun him, maybe I'll have the better tires and run him down at the end, but it was just too big of a gap to actually get him.
Yeah, I mean, people don't really think tires. No, it's a small track, but tires were surprisingly a really big difference. That kind of probably was what stopped you there. But before I let you go, is there anybody you want to thank? Any sponsors you want to shout out that may have been watching the stream here tonight?
Stay tuned, sports. He's plastered across the hood. Fearless Creations. The paint scheme's pretty cool looking, although I do gotta get another one for next season, so maybe I'll have to go get him again. You can find him in the Discord here somewhere if you're in the league. If you're not, then join the Discord. We need more drivers. That'd be pretty cool. Orange County Fair Speedway. We start up soon, thankfully, for race season. And you for coming in for broadcast today.
All right, man. Well, I'll let you go. Good third place finish tonight, though, man.
Thank you.
That was John Canizaro, the third place driver. We will bring in the second place driver in Dimitri. Hey, Dimitri, this is Bryce in the booth. Got a copy, man?
Yes, sir. 10-4.
Man, so you come home second. Looks like it was a strategy call from you, but how did the race go from the drop of the green flag to the checkered, man?
Yeah, pace was pretty good, as I thought it would be, but unfortunately, at the very end of that first run, I barely got the wall, which affected my speed a lot for the rest of the race. So that's why I had to try something different strategy-wise. And then even that had a slight chance of working, but I just got caught up in a little bit too much traffic right when I came out of the pits, I think.
Yeah, so do you feel like you would have had a better shot if you didn't get into that wall? Do you feel like your car was good enough to win the race here?
I think it would have been close between me and Garrett, but yeah, the damage was definitely hurt me, but it didn't kill me. I think it would have been close for sure.
Yeah, these cars are definitely really, really aero sensitive most of the time. That's just kind of how they're built. But before I let you go, is there anybody you want to thank? Any sponsors you want to shout out that may have been watching the stream here tonight?
Yep, shout out to everyone at Whiteout. Car owner Garrett got the win. We got the 1-2, so that's great. Yep, that's it.
All right, man. Well, I will let you go. Good second place finish tonight, though, man.
Thank you.
That was Dimitri. We will bring in the race winner in Garrett White here. Hey, Garrett, this is Bryson Booth. Got a copy, man?
Yes, sir, I do.
Man, so you come home with the race win. How did the race go for you from the drop of the green flag to the checkered, man?
Yeah, I think for the first run, I tried to save tires a little bit more than I probably should have. Definitely lost a little bit of time going into that first pit stop. But the second run, I was like, we're probably going to split this in half. So I was going to push a little bit more. And then, me and John were having a great battle for, I don't know, it felt like forever. But I think it was 15 laps or so. And then once I got around him, then it was just kind of, run your own pace and not trying to make a mistake there. So it was pretty straightforward once I got past John there.
Yeah, it seemed like, once you got around John, getting around John was the hard part, but it seems like after that, nobody could have really caught. Did you ever feel like there was a point in the race that you were kind of doubting yourself? Were you pretty confident the whole entire night here?
It's hard to say. I mean, I was confident the whole night, but you never know how this race goes. You can run a perfect race and a caution comes out and completely screws your strategy up. So I was, cautiously optimistic, I guess I would say, throughout the race. So, yeah.
All right, man. Well, before I let you go, is there anybody you want to thank, any sponsors you want to shout out that may have been watching the stream here tonight?
Yeah, I just want to thank Jay Mulder at Blue Jay Creative Studio for designing such a great paint scheme, and I want to thank my team, Whiteout Sim Racing, for a good car.
All right, man. Well, I will let you go. Good win tonight, man. I know you're a playoff driver, so that means a lot for you, but good luck in the playoffs for you, man.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
That was Garrett White, the race winner. I will go over the finishing order here now. Garrett White, he comes home first. Dimitri Monduro second. John Canizaro third. Josh Patterson fourth. Joe Berge fifth. Sixth. Gino Mera seventh. Sky McGurk eighth. Clayton Ramstead ninth. Ollie Reeves 10th. Paul Grenada 11th. Timmy Spatz 12th. Logan Soley 13th. Brandon Sampson 14th. Brady Cox 15th. Henry Clappert 16th. Caden Riffey 17th. Bryson Collins 18th. Brianna Lavin 19th will be Ryan Zabua. 20th, Bo Krebs. 21st, Ryan Martin. And 22nd, James Bo Marr. Not a bad race overall. A lot of cautions early on, but looks like after those guys got done with that, they pretty much sorted it out after that point. So it was definitely pretty good to watch after that. Good battle from Cannizzaro and White. White was just able to pull it off a little bit later in the race. I think that Cannizzaro waiting to pit hurt him a lot more than what he thought it would. But I will have to be streaming right after this, guys. It'll be the Ghost Cup Series. So if y'all are free and want to watch a race or are just bored, if you don't mind tuning into that. But I will let you all go.